you all feeling ahead of this semi-final?
I think we're all really looking forward to it. I think it's a wee bit different from the last time, obviously, we were going into that off the back of a disappointing 2 points dropped with the Kilmarnock game, but now we're going into it off the back of 2 clean sheets and feeling a lot better about ourselves, and we're really looking forward to it.
So you see you're in a much better place going into this game than you were last month?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've got good performance momentum behind us. We know that obviously the last 2 results, 2 clean sheets, and just before that the performances have started to gather, so definitely in a much better place, and as I said there, we're feeling really good about ourselves and looking forward to the game, obviously.
Did you learn lessons from that last match that you can take into Sunday? Yeah,
we learn lessons every game, no matter if we win 5-0 or if we of course lose in the manner that we did on the game that you refer to. We always learn, you know that. We sit here all the time and we tell you that good, bad or indifferent in the result, there's always scope for learning, and that's just how we work as a team, how we work as a group, and it's the way we get better. We're going to make mistakes in every single game, and it's how we improve as a group and get stronger for that. So in that game that you're obviously talking about, there's been a lot of learning, there's no doubt about that.
You had a week of training this week. Celtic had a game last night. Do you prefer the situation that you're in, that you haven't had that game?
I think we just concentrate on what we do, and that's obviously, it goes without saying, we've not got European football at this moment in time. That's something that we're striving for, obviously. They have their own situation, but we are happy in the way that we are training, the levels that we are hitting in training. As I said, we're in a good place in terms of performance momentum, so hopefully we can take that into Sunday's game.
Well, you come back here, last season you had mixed results here, good in a couple of games, and then the Scottish Cup final. Do you take heart from that last Scottish Cup semi-final against Celtic going into this one, or do you just put that aside?
Yeah, I think it's one of the ones you do need to put aside. Obviously there's been a number of changes to both teams. There's been a number of signings coming in for both sides, so it will be a completely different field in terms of the team that will be both teams that will be playing in the game. So I think we can obviously refer back to it being one of our more positive games in terms of performance and imposing our style on that particular fixture. So I think both teams, obviously there's new management in across the way, so it will be a different game altogether. We know that, and it will be a completely different game from the previous one that's already been taking place this season.
Do you look to exercise some ghosts after what happened in the Scottish Cup final in terms of the match and the way you lost it in the end as well, coming back here to maybe prove a point to yourselves rather than anyone else?
Yeah, I think that's what we always do. It's always about proving points, and if we have got that to do it, it's always going to be to ourselves, to our teammates, our manager, our fans and our families. That's the only way we look at it. Of course, it was disappointing the last time we were here, of course, we all know that, but obviously credit to Hibs on the day. They were fully deserving of their win, and it was a disappointing one for us, and one that we're going to definitely be stronger for, and hopefully myself and my teammates can get ourselves back to the positions in cup finals and winning Rangers silverware in years to come. But there's absolutely no doubt that we'll grow stronger because of these moments.
A lot's been said about safety of the players, and there's been reports, everything like that. We've been speaking to the police today to say they've got an operation in place. Are you worried about anything on the field given what happened in the Scottish Cup final?
No, absolutely not, no.
Is it something, are you glad then that there's going to be things in place to make sure that there's no repeat of anything like that?
I'm just glad that I've got an Old Firm fixture to look forward to at the weekend. Really exciting fixture. We know the intensity that surrounds it, the passion at City of Glasgow, 2 teams going head to head and got the chance to get themselves to a cup final. I think me, my teammates, the management, the staff, the fans, everybody's just looking forward to the game of football that's obviously going to take place on Sunday, and anything else there's no really much point in us thinking about.
Do you still feel the hurt from that previous game against Celtic that you can use to drive you forward for this game?
No, I think you have that for days after. I did say that at the time. I remember speaking to you after the game, and it was tough trying to get your emotions and how I wanted to try and get points across. It always is after defeats in that manner, but having went away, you quickly have to turn that into motivation, and that's days later. You obviously have to get yourselves back training and focus on how you can be better, as I keep stressing, and making sure that we get ourselves back to how we deem being the way that we play, and I think in the last 3 or 4 games we've managed to do that, and as I keep saying, that we're obviously feeling a lot better about ourselves, and we're going into this game feeling a bit more confident than we did the last time.
Do you find it easy to get rid of all that? Obviously with experience, is that the way it comes?
Well, I think it's definitely something that's grew on me as I've got older. I've always been quite a deep thinker, and more so when I was younger, maybe tended to let things get to me a bit more. But no, I think through experience, especially with the fact that fixtures come thick and fast, whether it's just Saturday to Saturday games, I think it's one that while we analyse it, while we always talk about the fact that we analyse games, it's quickly on to the next game and how we learn for that, how we grow and how we be better. But I think certainly us came with experience that while you get disappointing results, while you have indifferent form, it's quickly how positive you can have a look on these situations and move forward.
And how do you think the team has developed since that game?
Well, as I keep stressing, we were always learning, we were always getting better. It was the gelling process was still there with the new players that were coming to the club, getting used to how we play, getting used to the demands of being a Rangers player. So I think we've made steady progress on that since that game. The results have been improved, clean sheets, defending well. Obviously there's performance and how we, as I keep saying, that the style that we like to bring to the game and the exciting, expansive football, I think that's been there to see in the last couple of games. So as I keep saying, we're really excited about this fixture, and hopefully we can go there and impose our style and go and enjoy a good day's work.
How would you assess Celtic's improvement since last season?
Yeah, that's clear. I think if you're a football man, and I mean I know of course they're my rival opponent, but if you're a football man and you study the game and you look at the game, it's clearly evident the improvements they've made. They've brought in a top manager, obviously, that's helped towards those improvements. They've brought in a number of good players that again their improvement, their quality is there to see, and of course it's going to be a real tactical one on Sunday. I think again I'm nowhere near qualified enough to talk about Old Firm games in the last 10, 15 or however many years, but I think when you look back it's always been about tough tackling and fighting, and again, but no saying that we aren't prepared to do that to win the game. That's there, but I think what we'll all start seeing now, and we did see glimpses of that in the last game, is a real tactical fixture, a real technical game of football where both teams try and perceived the way that they perceive to be the best way of playing. Two good styles going head to head, and I think it's a really exciting fixture for Scottish football.
Can you take any encouragement from Celtic defeat last night?
I just think they'll be, of course, they'll be disappointed. I think they know that these are tough fixtures. I mean, they've had really tough fixtures in terms of their Champions League opponents. That goes without saying. They've had a really tough group. You've seen again a top elite game of football last night. The other fixture in their group. So they've been in a really tough group. They've been exposed to some difficult fixtures, and I'm sure they'll be ready for Sunday the same way as we're prepared for it. Albeit we've had the day's rest. They're obviously played last night, but again, at the same time, it's that our main focus is always on ourselves. While we're aware of everything that's going on across there, I think it's just how we best prepare, how we best look after ourselves and make sure that we're going into that game ready to go.
Is there a bit of envy when you watch Celtic playing in the Champions League games?
No, there's just when you're watching a Champions League fixture, as I said, I'm watching Barcelona Man City last night, and of course there's envy there. You want to be playing at their levels. That's why I came to the football club. That's why a number of guys are signing for the football club. That as a Rangers player, that's where you want to be, and I think we know how we're going to get there, and it's just going to be through hard work that hopefully come the end of the season we can get ourselves in a similar situation come this time next season.
Okay. Last time, after the last game, Scott Brown said it was men against boys. Does that drive you all on for this one?
No, I missed that. Of course, we were disappointed in our dressing room. We went home, and all the things I've already said, and I apologise to sound repetitive. We went away, we learned, and whatever said elsewhere, I mean, it doesn't really interest us. Obviously, we just focus on what we can do to improve, and our own drive and force, our own confidence, our own motivation comes purely within what we do day in, day out, and as I said, where we need to be, we know how we're going to get there, and again, that's just through hard work, and that's just how it is for us.